Troy Jackson was more than just a fire officer. He started in the fire department because he was following in his dad's footsteps. He is my high school sweetheart. He and I met when we were 10th graders, but we didn't start dating until we were seniors. And he'll always be that big, tall, muscular kid that had an impish grin and a childish giggle, but you never quite knew what he was up to. And he never really lost any of that, whether it be his personality or disposition or approach to life. He took his care and dedication to a different level. He was able to really focus that in when he became a dad. We have 2 children. But also then as he took on more responsibility and had more people under his control span at the firehouse. So to me, he is more than just that fun, good-looking kid. He embodies so much of what you hope your neighbor would embody, what you hope your dad and your kids turn into. And so, you know, he's just someone that I'm really, really proud of. He was hired into the Academy of January 1990, so he was 90-1. And they did all of their training down here at the training center off Santa Fe, which is now known as the Troy Jackson Training Center. He went through the ranks from the different levels of firefighter, engineer, lieutenant, captain, assistant chief. He was very passionate about training to make people, and I would do air quotes and say harder to kill, so that when they were on a call, they were being smart, they were protecting their fellow firefighters out there, and they were able to come back home to their families. And unfortunately, it's the time that he spent in training that they believe was the most dangerous to him. He was diagnosed in 2012 with adenoid cystic carcinoma, which is a head and neck cancer that's genetically driven but is environmentally triggered. As a previous banker, I always say, if Troy had been a banker, he probably never would have gotten cancer. But because of what he was exposed to in the fire stations, that's what made his cancer develop. So he went through 7 years of treatment to combat that and to try to reverse it and stop it from coming back. We always knew it would come back. It just came back more angry and much faster than they thought. And he lost his battle in December of 2019. I knew I always kind of wanted to do one more thing to memorialize him, and the road dedication had kind of been in the back of my mind. And so what we are doing is we have gotten approval to rename part of I-25 to be called Firefighter Memorial Highway in honor of Chief Troy Jackson. I think the fact that we've had Colorado politicians get behind this really means that they understand the important role within our community that first responders played.
Concerning the designation of United States Interstate 25 southbound from mile marker 199.4 and Interstate 25 northbound mile marker 194.8 as Firefighters Memorial Highway in memory of Chief Troy Jackson.
That type of respect doesn't end with someone's life. And the fact that they are behind this and they want to memorialize not just Troy, but firefighters and what they do means the world, because it means we've got their support when important regulations might come down that we need their help on.
What I hope happens in these instances that people pick up their phone and Google who Troy Jackson is and the difference that he made, not just for his community as a firefighter, but also potentially thousands of other firefighters that will have, service-related health issues that are really something that only impact firefighters in some of these instances.
It's a great opportunity with these signs and these memorials for folks to remember the great sacrifices and services that firefighters, police officers, first responders provide to our community. You know, I always think of 9/11 when 343 firefighters gave their lives. They rush into the building. That's what they do in our local communities. Firefighters, they go into the danger. They protect our community. They protect our families. So it's a great chance to recognize them and their sacrifice and their commitment to our communities.
And so my hope is not just that when our rigs are driving that stretch within their district, they remember, but that maybe somebody whose uncle in Florida is a firefighter, when they drive it, they think about them, have a nice thought, maybe say a prayer for safety. Or if somebody's visiting and coming through our state and they see it, they might wonder who this Chief Troy Jackson was, but then they also might take that feeling of warmth that it gives them back to their community and to continue to support the people that support them where they live. The section of I-25 that's being named will be between Belleview on the north end and basically C-470 on the south end. So for people who think it's just a sign on a highway, I challenge them to drive a portion of C-470 where they see the Dave Saunders Memorial Highway and it not take them back to the terrible events that happened at Columbine. That is a way to memorialize his sacrifice and the people that died on that terrible day. And now to drive past Firefighter Memorial Highway, hopefully that's a way that people understand we need to acknowledge that these people put their lives on the line, their families allow them to go and take these risks for their benefit. And maybe they've not come in contact with a first responder in that setting, and I just have to tell them congratulations for that. But if they have gotten the opportunity to deal with a first responder on maybe one of their worst days, they'll understand the care and compassion and dedication that these individuals have to their safety and to their ongoing lives. So I hopefully that just a sign thought can go out of their mind and they recognize it as a true tribute.